Welcome to another edition of DX Engineering Videos. Today, here in Tallmadge, Ohio, we're very pleased to have Hal, W8HC. Hello, Hal.
Hey, how are you today, Tim? Good to be here.
Good, good, good. Hal, where do you live?
I currently live in St. Albans, West Virginia. I've been in West Virginia all my life, practically. So
Okay.
that's home.
And how long have you been in amateur radio?
In October of this year, it'll be 50 years. I got my novice license as W8HC in October of 1967. So
Wow.
I'm looking at 50 years.
50 years. And what got you interested in ham radio?
There was a friend of my father's that kind of elmered me into the hobby and helped me out. And, from there, it was just something I got in my blood. And, initially I started out as working CW, of course, as a novice, and I've just gradually evolved into different aspects of the hobby, and it's been with me my whole life, actually.
Now, are you a member of a local club?
Yes, actually, there's two clubs in the Charleston area: the Kanawha Amateur Radio Club, and then the West Virginia DX Association, which we took on the call sign of Whiskey 8 Alpha Hotel, W8AH, Al Hicks, who probably most people are familiar with Al, who passed away about 14 years or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, the West Virginia DX Association, we're proud sponsors of the 3Y0Z D-Expedition, and we've sponsored several other D-Expeditions as well, so we're quite active.
So how did you get involved in going on D-Expeditions, and in particular on the Bouvet?
Well, it kind of evolved. Initially, I was asked by Joe Pater, W8GEX, a few years back. We were in Friedrichshafen, if I would be interested in going on the NH8S, the Swains Island D-Expedition in 2012. And I talked to Joe about it and a couple of the other guys. I'd never been on a D-Expedition per se. I had done some these mini vacation type D-Expeditions overseas. But anyway, Joe kind of talked me into signing up for the Swains Island D-Expedition, and got to know a couple of the guys involved with that: Craig, K9CT, Jerry, of course, John Miller, K6MM, and Lou, N2TU. And I've just kind of been invited to participate in a few others. So the Bouvet D-Expedition coming up next year will be my fifth D-Expedition. After Swains in 2012, I was asked to be the team member with the Bouvet Island, the K9M D-Expedition, and then went to Willis Island, VK9WA, in November 2015, and then in last year, January, the K5P Palmyra D-Expedition. I was part of that team.
So you've been to some really interesting places.
I have.
But they're all warm.
They're all warm. Yeah, some of the guys joked that I'm a flip-flop D-Expedition. I wear flip-flops. I won't be wearing my flip-flops down in Bouvet. So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be quite a bit different to experience a colder environment. And then, too, I like the challenge with the Bouvet D-Expedition because of the getting from point A to point B, getting from the boat to the island, and it's more in line with the VK9WA D-Expedition, where we actually hauled. I felt like a pack mule, hauling stuff onto the island,
right, and
that kind of stuff. With the other ones, we had transportation provided, and all we had to do basically was set up our stations and our power generation. But this is going to be a challenge, and I'm trying to get in a little bit better physical shape, because it's going to be physically challenging to all of us, and none of us are getting younger, and it's Bouvet being the number 2 most wanted entity. I'm kind of looking at this a year out and saying, this may be my swan song. If I'm going to do this, and this will be the one to finish up on if I do decide to quit this. It is taxing, physically and resources, and I need to maybe throttle back a little bit at some point in my life, but
now,
I'm not ready.
50 years in the hobby. I mean, How big of an impact has amateur radio had in your life?
Oh, I'll tell you, Tim. It changed me. It actually, and this happened in the mid-'80s when I was asked to get more involved with the local club, and I was asked to be the president of the club. I took on, more of an active role in the hobby, and as a result of some of the things that I did and was able to succeed at in ham radio, it carried over into my career, and so for me personally, I look back and say, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, or I wouldn't have accomplished a lot of the things that I've accomplished, were it not for being involved in ham radio and doing the things that I probably wouldn't have had an opportunity to do otherwise.
Did you get some cool friends along the way?
Oh, absolutely. That's really an upside to this that I can't talk enough about. The guys, and especially with the DXpedition team members that I've been involved with, when these guys come together, it's all about, making the DXpedition a success, and not just necessarily in DXpeditioning, but I've made a lot of friends throughout the world. I've traveled in the Middle East. I've done contests over in 4X in Israel, and made a lot of friends over in that part of the world. Friends in Echo, India. I've operated over there and met some really super people I never would have met otherwise.
Right.
And it's a tremendous opportunity. You talk to them on the radio, yeah, and you talk to them on the phone, whatever, but to actually meet these people and have dinner with them, break bread, drink a beer with them, whatever, they're fine people, and it's all through that common thread of amateur radio. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Very cool.
No.
Great story.
Thank
Hal, we look forward to you coming back
Yeah.
after Bouvet, safe, sound, and with a new story to tell us.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And let me just say, I really appreciate everything DX Engineering's doing to support us. I know you've mentioned that you're all in with this DXpedition, and I appreciate that. And so on behalf of the team, let me just say how much we appreciate your support. And it's an encouragement to know that there's guys like you and businesses like DX Engineering that support our hobby and what we're doing to this level. So thank you, Tim.
Well, thank you very much for
Yes,
your
sir.
kind words.
Yes.
Appreciate that, Hal. And thanks to you for watching another edition of DX Engineering Videos.